NBA All-Star Weekend was a failure again, but this time for different reasons, and I kind of want to talk about it. So I just got home, took a red eye. I was in San Francisco for the last 5 days, so I got a feel for what the city was like. Shout out to everybody for the great hospitality I always love when I'm in San Francisco. But overall, All-Star Weekend was a failure, and this is really bad from Adam Silver. You kind of got to think about it from the perspective of a casual fan. Me and you, if you're watching this video, you're not a casual fan. You're a little bit over that because you're caring about what the hell I got to say about basketball. But there are a couple big moments in the NBA season for a casual fan. The first one is the season opener. That's why they try to give us banger after banger in that first week. This is where you want to grasp the attention of the average NBA fan, the casual NBA fan. Let's start this little rivalry so we know that, boom, Celtics versus this team first week is going to be a hit. And then people really dive into football. We can't ignore the fact that football really is king when it comes to TV viewership and so on and so forth. But the Super Bowl was 2 weeks ago. So now this is where we get the casual fan to lock back into the NBA. It's All-Star Weekend. It's trade deadline. It's All-Star Weekend. This is where you get people to care. And over the last couple of years, the All-Star Weekend have been so bad that I feel like we didn't attach those casual NBA fans back to being casual NBA fans. Imagine your first basketball game of the season being 8. These are the 24 best players in the world going against each other, and you tune into the first game, and the score is 207 to 202. Hello? You said 200? Like, yeah, I love me a good logo 3, but when you watch Indianapolis or you watch Utah, and that's all it really is, it's kind of concerning for the league. So this year in 2025, Adam Silver said, don't worry, I got some plans. I'm going to sit down with Steph Curry. It's his city. We going to make this thing a little bit different. We're going to change up the format because at the end of the day, we needed to be competitive. And then they come up with this idea. We got 4 different teams, 3 teams of All-Stars, 1 team of Rising Stars. And immediately we had people like Kevin Durant or LeBron James, 2 of the biggest names and voices in our NBA world, say, nah, this ain't it. Well, that's one way to get fans interested. Just the top players just said they not rocking with it. Either way, I was there. I want to give it a chance because who really knows? Not only did they break it up to 4 different teams, 3 All-Star teams and 1 Rising Stars team, they put a total point instead of us going for 12 minutes or 20 minutes. No, whatever team drops 41st is the winner and they advance to the next round. Adam Silver, we talk about his legacy. His legacy is going to be a lot of damn tournaments. And in their mind, because you got to think about it like this. The worst team in the NBA can drop 40 points in a single quarter in real play. So they had to recognize that 40 points is not a lot. And in their mind, if we can get 7 minutes of the best players in the world actually playing hard to get to that 40 minutes, then it might be worth it. It really wasn't. It just really wasn't. I feel like the last time I felt really good leaving an arena for an All-Star game was in 2020 when it was in Chicago. I feel like there were stakes there. I mean, that was, a month after Kobe had passed. And it was just a moment for the NBA where everybody wanted to give the best opportunity to the fans, right? And then we have the Elam ending. We have Kyle Lowry drawing charges in the All-Star game. We got Kemba Walker playing like 40 minutes of play. At least that's what it felt like. And it was almost perfect. And they rode none of that momentum. And over the last 5 years, the All-Star game has been bad to worse to unwatchable. Like, I've had tickets to All-Stars that just didn't go because that's how bad it really had been. So the original problem was the lack of effort from our players. How do you get $200 million players to care about an exhibition game in the middle of February? And the reality is, it's you just really can't. And I grew up in the early 2000s, and I've seen every All-Star game since 2003. I hate when people act like the All-Star game used to be like this Game 7 type atmosphere. It never really was, but it always gave us pockets of great defense or pockets of when players really got down to it. Oh, it's 6 minutes left in this game. It's a 4-point game. Okay, now it's time to play some basketball. And we really hadn't got that since 2020. So Adam Silver comes in, shortened amount of games. Let's figure out if this can get the effort level up. And I'm going to give the NBA players a little bit of credit. The effort level from this 2025 was better than 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021. It still wasn't amazing. But this time around, I don't think the problem is the fact that the players didn't care. The problem was the presentation this time. And that feels crazy, man. That feels so crazy. But somebody did the math over on Reddit. Shout out to Forget Shane. 42 minutes of actual basketball was played in the 3-hour All-Star game minus breakdown. So here it is. The intro with ads was 30 minutes long. We had 10 minutes of pregame talk. We had game number 1, 12 total minutes, 10 minutes of actual play. Then we get the Mr. Beast challenge, and we're gonna talk about all these things. The Mr. Beast challenge, I didn't know that was happening. I guess somebody hit the group chat and was like, get ready for Mr. Beast. I didn't even see that they announced that one. The game number 2 was Shaq versus the Rising Stars. That's 12 minutes of total actual basketball play, 16 minutes total. Then we get the music performances. I want to give a shout out. The music performances were amazing in my personal opinion. You get the Inside the NBA tribute, and then we get game number 3. And if I'm not mistaken, the tribute happened in the middle of game number 3, right? Wasn't it like 11-1, and then they paused everything to give the tribute? It was a bit weird. Then we get the post game. That was 6 minutes, and then 22 minutes. So we had 80 minutes of ads in these 3 hours of All-Star weekend, and then just 30 minutes, 42 minutes of gameplay. 3 hours, 3-hour block, 40 minutes of gameplay is insane. Because at the end of the day, though this is an entertainment league, the basketball, this thing, in a bigger form of this thing, is the reason why people are there. Right? So like the tournament style itself, I had some problems with from the very start. I'm not on some Draymond Green stuff. That's a whole nother thing that we're going to get to. But the tournament style does feel a bit weird when you see like the first game ended up being Chuck versus Kenny. Let's go look at that box. It just feels weird, man. First time All-Star here. And they get like 6 minutes of basketball play and their first time being an All-Star. That kind of sucks. I won't lie to you. That just kind of sucks. Now, you can say, Kenny, they should have played better, which 100% true. They lost by 8 in this game. But for your first time experience being 6 minutes long of gameplay, it is kind of trash in my opinion. Shout out to our Rising Stars because they gave us a good performance here, making it at least interesting. But I would agree it does feel a bit weird to have these Rising Stars on this level of play versus these legends. No disrespect to these dudes. I'm actually pretty cool with a couple of these dudes on the team. Shout out to my boy Stephon Castle, Jalen Wilson, so on and so forth. But I would much rather watch 15 minutes of J-Dub versus his real 6 instead of 10 minutes of Stephon Castle, 10 minutes of Don Connect in this game. I think the tournament style definitely helped with the intensity of these games for sure, but it also felt pretty empty because we didn't get a ton of the all-star players that we're accustomed to getting. When you think about it, 40 points is not a lot, so they have to fill this time, and I just really did dislike the avenues they went down. Kevin Hart, as funny as he is, this one felt a bit awkward compared to some of his other spots with the NBA or other spots in other forms of entertainment. It felt like the players weren't really into it. And it's weird because Adam Silver and the rest of the league, the people that are in charge, has been really on the players. We got to make it competitive. We got to take this serious. We got to take this serious. You got to take this serious. And then you get the most unserious person on earth, Kevin Hart, to come out there and try to not trash, but like, roast the players and roast the commentators. And so like, are we taking this serious or is this more laid back? Are we taking this serious or this one big ass YouTube video for Mr. Beast? Because as a player, you don't really know. We warmed up. We played 3 minutes of basketball. Then we had to stop for 9. Now we back cold. Are you telling me I got to take this serious? Come on, man. NBA players even hate when it's a 30-second review in the middle of a basketball game. You trying to tell me we're getting 9 minutes where we're completely stopping everything? I'm getting cold, which increases my risk of getting injured. Now I'm definitely not going hard because I'm not even ready to hoop no more. And I just thought that I be thinking about this type of stuff all the time of like where they cut cameras, who they cut cameras to at certain times. When they're going through the tribute and they're going through these things with Kevin Hart and they're cutting to the players, none of these players look like they're having fun on that bench. They're just patiently waiting to get back on the court. And I feel like ultimately that is a huge miss from the NBA. And maybe I feel it's weird to say this as somebody that ultimately benefits from ads. Like my whole job, this whole job is ad related, right? You see me do ad reads all the time. The presentation of it being, and this is a Turner thing, this is a big ESPN thing too. The amount of ads that we get watching this is kind of ununderstandable. Like I still don't understand how we get this many ads in this type of thing. 80 minutes of ads in a 3-hour block. Almost 50% of what we watched when we wanted to see Steph Curry, when we wanted to see Bron. Damn it, Bron, what's going on? We want to see Bron. We want to see Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, what the hell? We got almost half of the programming being ads. And then another half of that, or a half of that half of the programming being bits that nobody cared about. Not a single person. Again, I know, pay them bills, man. This is not an inexpensive product to create. I understand that. But boy, I just feel like if you just take some more time for it to be basketball, then we all walk out as winners. And I'm trying to find out who has All-Star now. It's not Turner. Turner no longer has it. So maybe next year some of these problems that I have with the presentation and stuff is gone. This All-Star game will indeed be the last one hosted by TNT. Oh man, as NBC takes over, yo, I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about NBC taking over. Because I feel like, and again, I grew up with NBC. They had this love of the game that can't be replicated, bro. And they're already signing talent and stuff. I don't know exactly what their coverage is going to look like. I don't want to lay the eggs and everything and had them hatched before, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to see what NBC have seen from the last 5 to 10 years and saying, okay, the fans don't like it, the players don't like it. What can we do to improve it? And that makes me really excited. I'm excited for 2026. And I just made this video. I've been filming for some time, saying all the things that I've disliked about it, right? And again, I'm not in the minority. Majority of people that watched this product last night didn't really like it. A lot of people, you know what? The dunk contest was good. I don't care what nobody say. Anytime you have people arguing on Twitter about who should have won, makes me think it was a good dunk contest. Yeah, like Ajax and Bodas Buzelas gave us eggs. Stephon Castle and Mac McClung was a good show. And you could argue who deserved to win. That makes me think that it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just made this whole video basically talking about the things that I didn't like. But that was after the fact. Like, I am somebody that gave it a real chance. I didn't go with it thinking, oh, this is about to be trash. Oh, this is about to be... Not the fact that we had a full weekend of coverage and going into it, though these dudes ended up being right in their criticisms before it happened, it kills all the momentum in the world when before the games has even started, Draymond is on TV talking about how trash it's about to be. Again, I'm not fucking influenced by Draymond Green. You probably aren't either because you're an NBA fan. But again, I'm thinking about my parents who aren't NBA fans but like basketball and might tune in to an All-Star game here or there. You trying to tell me the hour coverage leading up to the game is going to be one of the people on the broadcast telling you this is about to be trash? That's not good. And then the victory lapping at like the in between games, like I told y'all, you know, I think it just overall hurts the product altogether, man, to have people out there that won't even give the new structure a chance, even if they're right at the end of it all. I don't think you have to kiss ass. You got to say, oh my God, Adam Silver is going to change the game, because I'm definitely not doing that either. But it's like, hey, we've done the same structure for 40 years. Let's give it a chance to see if this new structure is going to get people more interested, right? Nah. Just straight up dogging the product before it started. I hate that type of coverage, man. And I feel like that's become more and more. It happens more and more in our game where it's more cynical more than anything. And again, have your criticisms for sure afterwards. But I'm always just a guy's like, at least give it a chance. Remember when the dunk contest had teams? One of the worst decisions ever. But I remember when I was younger being like, this could be fun. It wasn't. But I feel like you have to have a level of optimism going into something like that. Before I found out that NBC was taking over, I was gonna come in here and say, like, me personally, I would be okay if we didn't have an All-Star Weekend. Now, everybody that suggested that have to realize how unrealistic it is, the amount of money that is made during the All-Star Weekend, from the NBA itself to all of its partners to all of the sneaker brands. Like, if you've never been to an All-Star Weekend, there's so many integrations. There's so many pop-ups. It's like the city makes a lot of money. These companies make a lot of money. There's no way in the world the NBA is going to be like, nah, we just going to take a week off. But I was going to come in here and say, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth it to go back to the drawing board. But before Vince Carter did his thing 27 years ago, 25 years ago, there was a time where the dunk contest didn't exist. They were like, this is trash, you know, and then they took another break too. So like, it makes sense to kind of put something in the vault for a little bit, tinker with it before you bring it back out. I think it's unrealistic. But now that I'm seeing that NBC, a new partner, has it, I'm interested to see if they can make things a little bit better. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that's the approach you should have going into these type of. Shout out to Jaren, the guy that hit the shot for the Mr. Beast YouTube video in the, you know what I'm trying to say. Because that shot I didn't expect to go in. I thought it was really funny the way Mr. Beast, or maybe it was the programming, the way he was talking about Damian Lillard. Like, they were shooting logo threes, and Damian Lillard is one of the greatest logo three-point shooters of all time, but he also is human. And I felt like Mr. Beast was kind of talking about him as if there's no way he could miss 3 logo threes out of 6. Like, they missed one. He was like, oh, that's surprising. He'll for sure make the next one. It's like, not for sure. Like, though he is one of the greatest shooters of all time, that is a deep shot. And they were not prepared for Dame to miss more than what he did. Shout out to, again, Jaren. I guess they wrote a story that he wasn't even supposed to be there. His dad bought him tickets last minute to be all the way up top. So great story. That's the best thing about the All-Star Weekend. The great story for the kid to get the $100,000 that he says he's going to put away from school and so on and so forth. But it goes into them trying to appease the younger audience as well. They had Jesser, one of the basketball YouTube GOATs here, be a part of the dunk contest. And then Mr. Beast, a YouTube GOAT as well, be a part of it as well. So they're just trying new stuff. And most of it isn't working, but they're trying new stuff. All right, I think I'll end it there. Let me know what you think about All-Star Weekend 2025. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all.